How far are you willing to go to acquire Greenland?
You'll find out.
They're going to push back too much. Look, we have to have it. They have to have this done. They can protect it. Denmark, they're wonderful people. And I know the leaders are very good people, but they don't even go there. And, you know, because the boat went there 500 years ago and then left, that doesn't give you title to property. So we'll be talking about it with the various people. We've had tremendous success, and I've done more for NATO than anybody else. I don't think you'd have NATO right now. I got them to go 5% and pay as opposed to 2% and not pay. I've done more than any other American president for NATO by far. And we'll see how that goes, but Greenland is very important.
Nigel Farage, the leader of the Reform Party, and every single week a new prominent member of the old guard and the Conservatives joins him, but they join as soldiers. He's the general, and he joins us right now, the man who may well be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from merry old England. Lovely to see you, mate. Happy New Year. Can you believe that the world is on a brink having a conversation about Greenland at the moment? Now, we're all paid up and proud. We've got our red caps. We love the Orange Man, but I'm not quite sure about the Greenland of all of this.
Look, I completely get from a geostrategic point of view why Trump is concerned. Those ice caps are melting. The old fabled Northwest Passage is now very easy to navigate. And there's no doubt that China, in particular, Russia to a certain extent, there is a strategic battle going on for control of what we now call the High North. And that means from a military perspective, it means, of course, from a rare earth minerals perspective. So I completely get Donald Trump's concern. However, whilst it's great that he takes out Maduro, whilst it's great that he threatens the mullahs in Tehran, threatening your closest allies in the world with economic sanctions, unless they agree with you, is not, I repeat, not the right way to go about it.
Now, obviously, people always would like to overread your connections with the president, friendships, all the rest of it, right? Reality here is that you're a person who wants to be the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, which means you're going to run for the next Prime Ministership of the United Kingdom. People who sort of love to look in and pass your words and work out where he stands on Trump and doesn't stand on Trump, let's just make it nice and clear, right? He's a very big, very important, very consequential figure, and if you're the Prime Minister, the special relationship is going to be fun to watch you hanging out with him at Chequers and vice versa at Mar-a-Lago. But let's be clear, you're running to be the leader of the UK, not to be anything but.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, look, good friends don't always agree.
Correct.
And there are many, many things that Trump has done that I agree with entirely. And actually, him threatening NATO all the way back to 2017 has meant all of them have increased their promises to spend money on defence, so we're not freeloading off the back of America. So many, many things that he says and does. He's closed the border to illegal immigration. Lots of great things that he's done, but not everything. And frankly, I think what he's done on Greenland is a little bit of overreach, and he's going to have to backtrack a little bit. By the way, I would much rather America own Greenland than Denmark, because I think the world would be a safer place. But if we believe in national self-determination, if we believe in sovereignty, and hey, I fought for British sovereignty for 25 years, this must be up to the people of Greenland. So you know what? I'll be friends with him, we'll get on, we'll do great stuff, but we will not always agree. And I'm not the kind of person who backs down.
Yeah, and look, I think this is exactly the right lane to be in, just as a free thinker, let alone as a significant political candidate. Now, speaking of what you've been able to build and what you have grown is amazing in reform. You know what's happening here with One Nation, and there has been a split in what has been the traditional centre-right of Australian politics. It's almost now straight down the middle between the Liberal Party and One Nation. In fact, One Nation, for the first time ever, pipped them at the polls. Our system, of course, is not first past the post, it's preferences, and hopefully they preference each other. But what does it say to you about what is happening in Australia, that One Nation has gone from single digits to now in front of the opposition, according to national polls?
It says two things to me. Number one, that the Liberal Party of Australia has frankly been too soggy for too long. And what it says about Pauline, well, there are one or two parallels, I suppose, between Pauline and me. She has been very clear and very consistent for a very long time. And a lot of people who thought, oh no, Pauline Hanson, that's all far too much, are now saying, you know what? Maybe she's been right. So clear consistency from Pauline is one of the reasons she's doing well. And the other, look how she's embraced social media. Look at the quality of output she's been doing for the last couple of years. You know, she's a lot sharper than many people realise. So look, I say to her, well done you. You know, you're shaking things up. And the likely outcome of this is that she will completely realign the centre-right of Australian politics. And who knows, once that happens, they might even start winning elections.
It would be extraordinary to see, because again, this is a person, this is a figure, this is a movement that for a long period of time, polite societies wanted to push down the back of the bus or pretend doesn't exist. But the reality is that, you know, in America, the Uni Party, I don't know what the official version is here in Australia, they are contemptuous of a certain type of person. And we know that it is a certain type of person who helped build the country a long time ago, helped further the country not that long ago, and people who still have the ability to laugh at themselves and, yes, sometimes other people, but they do neither with malice. How important is it to the success of movements like Reform, like One Nation, that the genuinely forgotten person is often the man and woman in the street who the establishment just drive past and tell them, shut up and pay your taxes?
Yeah, I think the establishment treat ordinary working folk, frankly, with contempt. They're all part of a metropolitan mindset which dominates almost all of the big Western free countries. And, you know, if you look at the sort of support that I get more in small town England than I get in the big cities. Exactly the same thing is happening in Australia. But you know what? The Liberal Party only have themselves to blame. You know, I think of years of drift that party's had. It's not been assertive, it's not been tough, it's not stood up. So frankly, they deserve what's happening to them.
Good stuff, Nigel. Thank you so much. Again, Happy New Year. Look forward to talking to you many, many times over the next little while, every Tuesday night. In fact, that is where you'll see Nigel Farage on our telly, the leader of the Reform Party. The poll numbers are unbelievable. He's rocketing. The certainty in the way he's presented himself for a long period of time, but just, it is amazing watching it from afar, and to have a little insight like we do each and every week is a real honour.